Hey guys, what's up? Mike with EzPhysique, where we help you maximize your personal power through your physical transformation. And today I'm so honored, and you don't even know how excited I am to be talking to this lady right here, Veronica Hernandez. Veronica, what is up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. I know my energy is a little high, but I'm super excited for what's been happening with your journey, Veronica. So I just want to take some time, let people take a peek into kind of what's been going on, what your experience has been, and more importantly, like what have your results been? And don't do that, don't say it now, but we will get to that. So guys, we're going to talk about some amazing results that Veronica has had in her journey in just a little bit over, I think it's just a little bit over 2 months. But we want to kick it off. So Veronica, I want to start off with talking about what was going on in your life, you know, with your health and everything prior to starting your journey together with me.
Okay. Well, first of all, COVID happened. And, I've always been conscious or tried to be conscious about what I ate, not sitting down and all of these things and, eating right. I live in Denver, by the way, so it's not impossible to coach someone in another state. Mike has been great on that part as far as communication. But for me, I honestly thought that my health was good, but I had some other feelings like extreme thirst and sometimes extreme hunger pangs and stuff like that. And I fought it, and it's a battle when you are trying to be healthy. And so when COVID came along, I was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to gain weight. I can't do that. Everybody was talking about, gaining weight, during quarantine. I wasn't going to do it, and so it was like, first I started on my own, now I have to say that I am in an environment, and let's, just be honest, I'm in an environment where people are very conscientious about that. Mm-hmm. It helps, that you're surrounded by people and vegetarians, which I love meat, so there's a lot of vegans and vegetarians, but anyway, so, we'd walk around the park and at least to get up, right? And then finally it was like, okay, I need to do more. I need to be honest with myself. And I had a wedding coming in October, and that was another motivation. But I ended up contacting Mike and saying, you know what? I got to take this up a notch. I need to go harder. I need someone to be accountable to. And, my boyfriend was like, well, maybe you could be accountable to me. And I'm like, nah, that doesn't work. Unfortunately, and nothing on his part that he wouldn't support me. He has supported me through this journey. But it's something that you go inside and you decide, you make a hardcore decision. It is a hardcore decision, but it is the right decision for yourself. Yeah. You have to say, my mom, God rest her soul, used to say, your body is your temple. Now, if you truly believe that, then you got to stick with it. And believe me, Catholic guilt, it worked, because at this point, in this time in my life, I was like, gotta do this.
So I want to ask you a quick question though. So what was, I remember, you reached out to me through Facebook, and I always want to touch on the point. So that was what was going on. So not only what was going on, but what was the thing that caused you to reach out and say enough?
No, the thing is no, I'll tell you what, enough. I'm getting there. So when I contacted you, I was like, all right, here we go, because it's not enough that I'm not like dropping anything. I'm not feeling good about myself. my body was just not, honestly, it seemed like my body had a brain of itself and it wasn't motivated to exercise, even do stuff, you know, on YouTube and stuff like that. It just didn't feel good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So then I saw, you know, I was perusing Facebook and I saw your photo and I was like, damn. And the whole time here, I'm thinking, you always look like that, didn't you? And I was like, you know, then I saw your before and I was like, holy moly, I just, you know, tall people, they give me this image and it's like, you know, so then I decided to do that. But what helped made me go even more committed. So here I am, you know, month and a half in, and I've decided also to go to the doctor and take all the blood work. And I'd already been having problems menopause wise. I had problems physically that are kind of too technical to discuss, but I just didn't feel right. So I decided it's time to do all of the work, right? So I go there 6 weeks in, I guess it wasn't. There was progress, but I felt like, you know, I was plateauing or something wasn't moving. I don't know what I was doing wrong. Perhaps I wasn't as committed, and it's not that difficult to be committed. Let's just put it, I mean, just to be clear. So I get the blood work and I find out that I have type 2 diabetes. Now, the thing is in that 6-week period, what I didn't realize that certain results were happening as I thought about it. So looking back, before those 6 weeks, I had all of these symptoms, but I blew them off. And so then I was like, wait a minute, I hadn't had those symptoms for 6 weeks, but doesn't mean that you don't have diabetes. It means you got to change more, really.
Wow. So I want to real quick, because this is what you just said is important for a lot of people here. Guys, what Veronica is saying, that she had her blood work done and found out that she's diabetic, type 2. And the thing that she said is so crucial is that this was going on already. It was going on. And she didn't know it. She just knew she was thirsty, tired, lethargic, low energy. And it wasn't until after she joined the program that she said, you know, I'm going all in, let me get my blood work and everything, that she discovered that she was type 2 diabetic. And what she also said was she noticed things were getting better, but her blood work came back with that. And this is what I want you to understand about this, guys, is that a lot of people out there are diabetic and don't know it. And because,
oh my God,
because you, Veronica, made the commitment and you said enough is enough and your health is important, who knows what would have happened had you not made that commitment and decided to start on a journey to health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that, wow. And so when I got they had called me and I was freaked out because they said, you're diabetic. And I just hung up. Poor nurse didn't even have a chance to say, do you want to know what, you know, all the numbers? And I was like, I contacted Mike right away. And it was like, oh, dude, this is so crazy. You know, seriously, it was you and my nephew, who's a nurse. And I asked him this information, you know, just like, what do these numbers mean? And I was, you know, definitely, I knew that you were going to guide me in the right direction. I knew that there had to be some kind of breakthrough, since I had already had certain results already, but it didn't mean that I was out of the woods yet. And I'm still not out of the woods because I'm seeing the doctor like once a month now. And I'm on a medication, a low dose. And we'll see, like, you know, and I really feel, because of doing my research as well, that I can make it go away. I can make it go away. And I'm going to do that, including my blood pressure as well. I feel really good. So all of that being said, then here we are now. And
so don't say the results yet. Hold on for the results. But
I'm not getting into the results yet. I was just going to say that what I love, my exercise routine. So, but at that moment, after I
Okay,
talked
so everybody's clear. So before, what was going on, Veronica wasn't feeling well. She had a wedding she wanted to get ready for. Her energy was off and she was concerned. She did want to lose some weight. So that was before. So then there's some key things I always want to focus in on. What were the words in your mind or that you said that when you came to that point, like, okay, I hear the same thing over and over, but I want them to hear from you. When you called me, you said, Mike, what was it? When you knew you were ready.
I think I was profane.
You were. You were.
So I'm not going to say that, but I mean, I've got to fix this, is what I said.
Yeah.
I've got to change this. And I did say that I noticed something, but I got to be better. I got to make it go away. And I know I can, you know? And so, we discussed the macros a little bit.
So, okay, hold on though. Okay, so what were some things, without giving away the secret sauce, but that's what you were talking about. So, okay, what were some things that we changed or did differently once you came in that you right away started happening? And
you mean once I started getting coached?
Well, yeah, once you got into the program, yeah, once we started working together, what are some things that we changed right away?
Well, how much I ate. Not only that, I mean, because I don't, cheating is kind of ridiculous for me because, I mean, it comes really natural to not, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, my environment's really different here. Even though we do have Voodoo Donuts, which I told Chris when my daughter visits in December, I'm going to have a Long John. But that's like 3 months from now. And it's like a weird concept to me. It's like, I don't want to go to Voodoo Donuts. I just don't. I mean, we cook well here. I don't eat like I had 2 or 3 small slices of pizza. It's actually training yourself, I guess. But see, it's not about what I was eating so much is the attitude, because we talked about one thing which I really want people to know about. Now I don't know you're gonna stop me on this one, but being in deficit, I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
So a lot of people when they work out, and this is something I've noticed, a lot of people when they work out, they'll say, okay, I'm gonna do, let's say 1,500 calories. And I say that number just because between men and women. And so, and they work out and they go, I think I just burned 300 or 400 calories. So that means I can do 1,900 calories. And it's like, no, people, no, keep it down. And there's so much room for that. If you were to eat properly, there's so much room for that. I mean, I've eaten I've seen too much forks over knives and all of that other, supersize me, that I'm just a little bit weird about that now. So I don't have a lot of chemicals in my diet, just to be honest. Yeah. So, but I mean, the thing is it wasn't healthy. See, it wasn't really healthy.
Yeah.
And so you have to have a certain discipline to dedicate to yourself and your body and the way your blood flows in your body. The oxygen to your blood. And how do you get oxygen to your blood, bro?
So this is really cool. So, in the program, there's 5 pillars. We talk about eating, we talk about moving, we talk about resistance, we talk about immune support, and we talk about mindset. So those things together, which you're all doing amazing on all of those, how have those, like, what's different? How have all of those gone into your daily? Like, how have all of those affected your approach and how you look now at being healthy? Well, or I could say, what confusion, what things that you were slightly confused about, or maybe didn't know anything about or knew a little bit about has changed with the program?
So I had a friend, or I have a friend, who's Mr. Intermittent Fasting. Of course, he's a dude, and you know he just, you know, he's fit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he would say, "I'm telling you, D, you need to do that intermittent fasting." And I would be like, "No, I can't. I know I can't because I'm anemic, and I have been diagnosed with anemia."
Mm-hmm.
And but so I had a fear of not eating because I was afraid I was going to collapse or something, you know. But then you brought me the understanding that, well, if you have this much fat and you have this much weight, how would you starve? You know, how would you starve yourself? I'm like, good point. I got some right here. I got some right here. So yeah, you know. And so then I started thinking, okay. And he goes, just think about it, you know. So I'm like, I'm gonna try it. He goes, when you feel hungry, it's okay to feel hungry, you know. Part of that starving feeling, of course, was the diabetic issue, probably. And the other part was the fear of an anemia. So I was like, oh my God, what if I pass out, and sugars and all that? And I didn't know about the sugar issue until later. So when I started intermittent fasting, I'm holding on. I'm like looking at the clock. It's dude. Oh, okay. So I was eating between 12 and 7, you know, and I did eat 2 meals. You know, I blocked those 2 meals because I find it, just for the sake of people watching, I find it hard to separate those numbers. I find to accumulate them in one meal. Like some guys can eat it all in one meal. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I separate them, but you know, I have to. I definitely. What's the word when you have to like I do the shake, the protein, whey protein. That has helped me. But anyway, so what I realized was I can do intermittent fasting, you know, and eat between those times, and I can still work out before that time and not feel like I'm going to pass out either. I mean, I'm literally at that point in this whole thing that I have more confidence, and I think that's a big issue because we think we're going to starve if we don't eat. You know, and I start to think about all the people, like the customers, when I, you know, worked at the dispensary, when I have a customer who started it, and, you know, he's like, once you're at that point, because I saw this man and he was like 65 and he works for the city, and he's come in, and he was like, one day he was like, cool, chill, normal dude. And then I hadn't seen him in 3 months, and all of a sudden he's like ripped. And I'm like, oh my God, how did you do that? And he told me, and I was like, he goes, but this is the thing, V. Once you're at this point, it's like your body processes it better, and then you can eat what you would like to eat, you know? And I'm like, that's great, because about the only thing that I might want every now, for the most part, and I still do it, but lighter, is pasta, you know? That carb, you know, but it's like, we don't even do it that much now. But I mean, that would be the deal. The ideal is for me to be at that point where we can go, oh, let's go get Italian food, you know?
Yeah. So I want to key in something. So if you're watching, especially ladies, I know there's a lot of confusion around eating. And it's one of the biggest things that it's confusion that I had before I went on my journey was, you have all of these diets out there. You got Atkins, you have South Beach, you have keto, you have all of these things, and people lose weight, and then people get confused. And here's where I see the confusion. A lot of people say, well, if I just eat healthy, I'll lose all the weight. And some things do happen that you'll start losing weight. But guys, at the end of the day, here's what it is. It comes down to how much that you're eating, your calories. And that's the reason why we lose weight. Yes, keto, you fall off, you know, you go into the fat burning mode, but if you eat too much, it's still going to be there. So within the program, and what Veronica's talking about is that we set you up in a way so that you are in a deficit, but you're able to enjoy the foods that you want to enjoy without starving, and then the weight falls off. And this is where people get confused. Guys, here it is. If you're not in a calorie deficit from where you are currently, you will not lose weight. I don't care what the diet is. If you are in a caloric deficit, you can eat any diet you want and the weight's going to fall off. So this is part of eliminating the confusion, and then walking through some things to say, oh my God, if I don't eat all this time, I'm gonna, it's not healthy, I'm gonna die. No, you won't. This is what we have to do. The reason why weight falls off is because you're in a deficit, your body needs a certain amount, and then what it doesn't get in food, where does it get it from, Veronica? What your body doesn't get in food, where does it get the rest of the calories and nutrients from?
From your fat?
Yes! Where's my star at? I need a gold star. Let me get, bam, clap. So, okay, so great point. So anything else that you found as an aha or a takeaway before, guys, hang on, before we get into the results?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what else other than you can't beat yourself up about the pause. Like it, and I mean, I know that I have been, that I've met pause and I've been frustrated. Of course, I talked to Mike about it, but you have to really take responsibility for your own health. And you need to be able to say, like, actually, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to push through this next hurdle. And I took up my steps to another 1,000, you just have to, it's like, you have to be proud of your physical successes, because then it pushes you even more. Mm-hmm. And if you don't acknowledge them, then you forget and then you give up.
Right. So what you're saying is, and we talk about this a lot, you have to celebrate the small successes. You have to do that. And so many people want to get the results right now, especially when oh my God, I got to lose this amount of weight. It's like, no. So I always talk about the journey, right? It's like, hey, we're not going anywhere. If it takes 3 months, 6 months, or whatever to get to where you want to be, where you're comfortable and like the way you look and feel, it doesn't matter, because you're going to have that the rest of your life, right? And the tools that you learn along the way, now you know how to get it off. And then and we're not there yet, but once you get to that place where you're going to know how to keep it off the rest of your life effortlessly.
Right. That I'm excited about. Just, even now, I feel like, well, I can't tell you because you told me not to, so I'm not going to.
No, we're going to go. You mean results? We're going to talk about results like right now. Let's go. So let's share the results. What have your results been numbers wise? And then we're going to talk about some other kind of maybe non-numbers, more how do you feel, your energy and stuff like that. But what have your results been?
Well, okay. So as far as working out, like walking on the treadmill, I was walking 2.5. And now I walk 3.5, which is 0.5 away from running. And my kid, I went to go visit my daughter in Nashville, and they wanted, I said, I just need a walk. I need a walk. And so they're like, okay. So we walk, and then I was like, okay, I got to finish this up because I'm going to leave y'all at this time. And they saw me walking around, and it was like, oh my God, you did that so fast. And it was like, I don't even think about it. I'm just trudging through, but I'm not feeling it's just, I don't even feel that. I feel like now it's a necessity for everything that we deal with right now for mental health. Walking is a really good thing. Also, we had a session to help me do these exercises that I've been using from YouTube. Now I do them properly, and I can feel it, and I can And my body feels like this floor exercise is working now because I'm doing it right. I mean, you know, like the ab thing or the, you know, your glutes, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, I did 100 squats.
Wow. That's
I did 100 squats. I still need to bring it down some, but I do feel, I was feeling insecure because of my knees. So now I'm doing it, I do it the proper way. And now I don't feel that pressure on my knees. I can't, one thing I can say and don't feel ever insecure about this is, you know, I didn't have the keys to the gym. And so I was like, oh man. So I said, well, I'm going to go up and down the stairs. And I went up and down the stairs and I'm on the 4th floor and I was going down and then I go up. But then at the end of the day, I really didn't feel like it was soreness as much as I felt my back was not handling it. And I was honest, I was like, maybe I can't do the stairs. It's okay because I do other things. And so, I mean, I wish I could, but I was like, damn, I mean, I'm getting more and more fit every day. Why? I don't know, but it's okay. It's not a mandatory thing. There's other stuff I can do. But that's one thing, is being able to keep up with the floor exercises, being able to walk further and add the 1,000 steps. Man, it was crazy today. Chris and I went walking and I was like, what time is it? Thinking it was like an hour, 10 minutes later. And he's like, we did it in like 25 minutes.
wow.
I was
Okay.
like, man, just doing it.
I'm hearing some amazing stuff. That's why I keep putting these claps up here. Wow. So you're walking more, you're getting stronger. You've told me, we talk all the time, but you've told me, man, I'm getting stronger. I'm starting to feel my muscles now. How has because things that I hear that are real common before people come into the program is like, man, my energy is low, my confidence, I just don't feel good. Like, what are some of those like non-tangible things that you've noticed?
Well, I mean, I'm not as jiggly.
Hey.
You know, and I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
How's your energy?
Sorry.
How's your energy?
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm good all day. I mean, I'm not worried about like the intermittent fasting. I do like, it's like it's like a double-edged sword. If you go 3 meals a day, you can get, you know, it's a lot easier to get your macros in, but than do intermittent to me. But I would rather do intermittent because it's easier to go over on the 3 meals. But I do 3 meals 2 days out of the week, kind of, you know. But for the most part, it's intermittent. I just prefer it that way. Let me see.
So let me ask you this question. Better. How does the program, because I'll just ask you, how does a program fit into your lifestyle? Do you feel like, oh, it's changing, it ripped apart everything, or does it fit in flawlessly?
You know, everybody's different, you know, for sure. Your commitment is, you have to write it in on a schedule. I mean, I go by a schedule, but, you know, so, you know, I have to do it like during Tamarind Hall, you know, and then I watch The View or something, or, you know, there's just like, I have a schedule, but it is actually now, it is more important than the other things I need to do. And then I get up and I'm like, I'm moving. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Once you get your body moving that way, then it's not, the rest is not a big deal. It's like your brain is like, oh shoot, I already did that part, I guess. Yeah. But it's like, it really is something I look forward to. Crazy for me.
Hey.
No. Not in the past, it wasn't, you know. And the thing is though, at this point, I've lost about 15 pounds. And I haven't measured myself, but I bought a dress that was 3 sizes smaller. I've bought, jeans that I feel aren't going to last long, but it's 1 size smaller. I haven't worn these sizes since I had my first child, which was 30 years ago.
Wow.
So, we went to the Levi's store, and I was like, and I already feel, but it's like I don't have any pants. So I had to buy these pants. And I was like, but I don't want to buy them smaller because I don't want to be uncomfortable, but at least I got them on sale. But I'm going to, I know that I would say in another month, maybe less, they're going to be small, too big. And it's, it's like, honestly, if you want to talk about negative, positive feelings, the negative feeling was like, geez, man, it's like, I don't have any pants, but I'm not going to make a move really, because I really have faith that I'm going to lose more, and I don't want to spend that kind of money honing myself into one area. So my dress for the wedding's awesome. That's a concern because, I'm not going to stop because of it, but I might have to have it taken in somehow. But right now, it's perfect. There's no when I bought it, it was like just trying to put it together and zip it. Now it's like, zoot.
Wow.
And that was already wearing a smaller size.
So here's what's cool about that. Most people would be thinking, I got to watch out because I might put on some weight before the wedding and not be able to get in. You're worried about losing too much weight and it being too baggy, too big.
Right. Yeah.
That is so cool. So
go ahead.
I wanted to also ask you, what would you say in working, because, it's been a couple of months now, how has it been like working with me? Like, what are the takeaways? What do you notice? What is like, oh man, that's amazing. Or if something sucked, tell me, but what's the difference? Like, what is it that you're getting? Because obviously people can take some information and go try to go it alone, but what's been the difference maker in working together?
Well, it's again, accountability. But that's the paramount to me. But it's also so we had a discussion, I think maybe last week, or this last discussion we had, and I was saying, we've talked about I can't seem to fit those proteins in. And you were like, well, then you need to do this. And I would oh, I can add that. Okay. So then I got the whey protein. And then, but you got to try to hit it. You got to hit this. And so that has been a goal. It's not easy. But the thing is also what I had to realize was that as I cook, and I cook, most of the time, again, here you can go to any restaurant in this city and hook up with the right food for you. You can go from fried to those, vegetarian hardcore stuff. You can get anything here, but if you're cooking, really you have to take control in your household. And that's the thing with women who are mothers or men who have wives who cook or, whatever it is. You have to, it's hard to have those conversations that when we're talking macros, that can go over somebody's head. They're like, I don't know what? So that's a hurdle. So you have to, so when you have a coach, you can discuss how it can happen. I mean, Pinterest is my best friend. I like the fitness, that app, because it really made it easier, because before I got it, my Fitness Pro, I had a spreadsheet and I was this was the commitment. I was writing every single meal, writing every single calorie. And it's because it was my investment and I could not F it up.
Yes.
And so I got my Fitness Pro. I went that distance and I'm like, okay, this really works, because now I can you know, I can do the barcode, or I can add the stuff that I'm going to eat for today. And just a lot, it's just a lot, you know, you have somebody that understands what it is, how it is done. Because if you know, you have kids and you have partners, or, you know, you have to make food for one. Well, I'm mainly the cook in this house. So everybody's going to eat what I'm going to eat. But on the same token, I cook things. They are used to it because they eat healthy. So, you know, then I just hand it over and they like it anyway, you know?
Yeah.
But like Chris doesn't like salmon. I like salmon. So I buy tilapia. And I mean, you know, I make it work. He's a good cook he grills steaks. So I keep my hands off it. I'm like, go get it. You know, he does that. So those are the things that you can't discuss with a partner. You have to have somebody helping you. You really do. You know, and we've had this discussion. It's like, there's, you know, like we said, how to do the exercises properly. That is huge. I would never have done them properly. And then the macros and the calorie intake and the over calorie intake, because now you can, that's the bad attitude. I'll tell you what, right there, the macros, number one. Then your exercise, number two. To get toned is the you know, the squats and the resistance training. So, but maybe number one is your mentality, that you gotta want it bad enough. You gotta want it as much as you want that diamond ring, you know?
Girl, you're preaching.
Diamond ring ain't nothing. A diamond ring ain't nothing if you don't got a body for it.
Hey, you are preaching. I'm taking notes while you're talking, and some guys, ladies, these are some words I want you to focus in on that's making Veronica so successful. Number one, she's committed. She's used the word commitment several times. She used the word investment. You know, when we work together, you know, there is a financial investment that you make, and her understanding, and she has it down. She made that investment as a commitment to herself and an investment in her because she's worth it. And then she used the word mentality. So, and these are all things that we talk about inside of the program. But the thing I want to point out that to me is a big difference is that the most successful people in the world, if you look around, whether it's an athlete or a CEO, president, an artist, anybody, guys, they all have coaches. They all have coaches. This is a big deal. I've always had a coach in my life. Even in other businesses I've always had a coach. And I think that this is where a lot of people miss it. Like they grind and it's months and years and they kind of get started and they quit. And the difference is what a coach does is a few things. Number one, they give you a proven system with shortcuts to those results. And I'm talking about things that I've experienced myself. The shortcuts, also the accountability, which I hope you keyed in on that. I wrote that down. Veronica talks about accountability. And another really big thing for me personally is support. That if I get stuck, if I have a question, if I'm not feeling it, whatever it is, I can pick up and call somebody and get that support. And Veronica didn't use that word, but she uses me like amazingly as far as support. Like when you got your results back and found out you were diabetic, you called me and yeah, you were boo-hooing, but I listened, right? I listened. And what did I say? I said, Veronica, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And you got past it. And most people, and man, now think about this. If you were on your own and you got this news and you weren't on your journey, that might have took you down a different direction.
I'll tell you where it would be like, it would have been a desperate direction. You know, it would have been, I think, if I hadn't been doing this and I didn't know what could be offered to me or what was available to me, the resources that were available to me, I think, I don't even know, man, because that already I was a little bit paralyzed without having somebody to talk to about it and how it was going to get better. So I can't even imagine. I think I would, you know, just like so many people when they're on meds, they quit and they allow the medication to be their savior, you know, and you need to be your own savior. I'm going to tell you, whatever the investment that you put into this, the thing is that it's either the amount of investment that you put into it or a hospital bill worth a lot more that you're going to have, or what do they call it? One of those ball and chains that'll hold you down for the rest of your life. Why do you want that? And that's the thing that you got to think about. You got to think about that. And believe me, there's a lot of examples that I have of friends and people that have not been able to, you know, who have either used it as a crutch medication, who have used any kind of excuse. And I mean, that is not my business for you to use your excuses. The only thing is that when I look at myself 10 years from now, I want to be healthy. When I look at myself 20 years from now, I want to be healthy. I want my body to work. I want to be with grandchildren and do things that they can do, because it is, you know, there are people out there that are my motivators, my inspiration. You know, Ernestine Shepherd's my #1. And when I started walking, I put her on my phone and I'd walk and go, this woman's 81 years old and she's a weightlifter, bodybuilder. She's a bodybuilder. And I'm like, okay, maybe not that, but I want what she's got, and that's good health. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be poking myself with needles. I don't want it, man. You know?
That is.
So can you honestly say, this is the deal? You know, it'll come from me and it doesn't have to come from you. The deal is you got to write this down and say to yourself, do I want all of this? How do I want to live my life? Because you sure as hell, if you're overweight or you're not exercising and taking care of your body, you're going to end up where you didn't want to end up. You know, and it's, you got to write the pros and cons. And let me tell you, the pros are, it may not be an easy ride, not until you're in it. It might not be an easy ride, but you'll find it and go, oh, I don't want to go back to that anymore. Yes. You know, I'm like, I think I'm about 8 pounds away from the weight that I was when I did give birth to my son, you know?
Wow.
And so, but I want to bring it down lower if I can. Yeah. You know, I think to me at this point, Mike, I think honestly, I feel like I'm at a point where in the weight loss, and I've really been reflecting on this, it has been kind of like it's not an immediate result, if you will. I mean, because I talked to you about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. What the hell? You know, you're gonna, you know, I'm not moving. This is not moving. This keeps on going back and forth. And you know, well, you know what it is that I've gotten over one hurdle, and now it's like, I understand that this movement that my body's doing is one that it's going to be a lot harder to gain. You know, it's like the long term, like everybody said this before, if you lose it and it takes a while, it's an easier way to keep it off. Your mentality is different. You know, you're working out, you're doing your exercises, you know, and so now I'm more patient with it, but I'm not complacent. That's the deal. Complacency is BS, you know.
Okay.
In anything you do.
Okay, you're throwing out too many gold nuggets here. I want to focus on. There's something you said earlier, guys. She basically said that a lot of people are using medication as a Band-Aid. It is, guys, this is a big problem. in pretty much all first world countries, but we're in America, so let's talk about that, where we find out we have high blood pressure, we get on medication. Then we find out we have diabetes, we get on medication. And then because of the medications we're taking, we need another medication. And next thing you know, you're taking 5 or 6 medications. Not saying medication is bad. However, what a lot of people do is they find out they've got diabetes and now they're taking either oral or injections, and guess what they're doing? They're like, oh, now I'm okay, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna go eat a plate full of nachos and just continue to eat trash like crap. And this is a problem. And if you are doing this, I really wanna invite you to shift, think differently, and think with the idea that what do I need to do to get off of these medications, to take off the Band-Aids? Because guys, Band-Aids are supposed to be temporary. This is a big thing.
Well, I mean, and there's also, I mean, and also to be fair, who knows, there might be people that will have to do it. But the thing is that why not safeguard yourself and not let the medication take over? Right, and not only that, I mean, there are people, of course, there are people that, you know, by the grace of God, we have scientists and doctors that create these medications that save people's lives, no doubt. But my doctor back in San Antonio, Dr. Jackson, used to be, it's about preventative care. Preventative care is on your part. Yes. I'm here to have to take care of the things that you didn't take care of. I mean, let's be real, you know?
Yeah, and also that's right. There's 100%. There are guys, don't get it twisted. I know there are people that have to take the medication. I'm not I'm not saying stop your medication, take your medication. If you have the opportunity that you can do something to change your lifestyle, your habits, that can take you off the medication. If you're in a position where you can ultimately get off, why are you not pursuing that? There are people that are at the point where they can't. They don't even have that opportunity. So I want to encourage you there. And then also I wanted to ask you, for the woman that's out there, or the person or anybody that's out there that they're in a place with their health, they know they need to make a change, what would you say to that person right now? Maybe the person that's thinking about, hey, I'm thinking about getting a coach. I've been thinking about talking to Mike. What would you say to that person?
Do it. I mean, don't be so hard on yourself and just make baby steps. And it's not a crutch to have a coach. We all know, like you said, everybody has coaches. Like, you know, even your most professional, obviously, Spurs, you know, all the basketball, all these people, they have coaches. But I mean, the first step is reaching out. The second step is to understand, to trust, and then also to know that baby steps aren't a bad thing. One little baby step at a time. And even if you had, at least you made progress going forward. It's better than making none, going back, staying stagnant and complacent, making a baby step in one change. And I think that was part of the deal for me, is like, just make one change. And then, and now I'm like, you know, and it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like an addiction. And sometimes you need a sponsor, a person to help you walk it through, a person to help you walk through it, you know, and that's me on so many things, so many levels. But, you know, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I really feel like I can't take care of one thing or several things at one time. Right now, I have to focus and do this for myself and self-care. And then the next level is to do some other stuff that I had planned, you know, my own life. So yeah, it's all relevant, you know? Yeah.
So Veronica, thank you so much for sharing. Just to be clear on results, Veronica's down at least 15 pounds right now, which is a significant percentage of her body weight, at least 10%, at least 10% of your body weight that you've lost. And guys, when you're walking around with 10% less of your body weight, or take, 15 to 20 pounds off,
Carry that.
that is so amazing. I mean, you just, because I went through the same journey. I lost 60, and when I lost my 20, I felt like, man, I feel lighter now, So yeah. I also want to say, guys, Veronica, this has been an amazing conversation, and I want to continue the conversation. And so what I'd like to do and invite you to do is let's plan on having like a Facebook Live in the near future, where we can just sit down and riff, kind of like what we're doing right now, let people join and ask questions. And really, because there's somebody out there, several people that are lost, that they are confused, and that if they just maybe tune into that, we would be able to, provide some value and some direction that they can start taking steps to change their life. Guys, I'm not saying you have to work with me. What I am saying is, don't do it for anybody else but yourself and your family and the people that are important to you. Do it for those reasons. I will also say that having a good coach makes a huge difference. Everything I've ever done, I played college basketball. I always had coaches. I became an okay golfer, right? So I got down to single digit handicap, always had a coach. I've always done that, and it's always given me shortcuts. It bounce off ideas, support, accountability, and all those kinds of things, ultimately making it easier for me. So I would encourage you, start your journey number one, start taking a step, take it today. And if you want to shortcut all that, look for a coach, look for a good coach. And so I want to leave you with that. And I also want to leave you with, let's do this, Veronica. If you're down, let's have a Facebook Live, invite some people, and with the idea, let's help some people that need help.
I'm down for sure.
And other than that, girl, I am so proud of you. I'm proud, number one. Number two, I'm very honored to be on your journey with you, and to see that your energy and your smile. Guys, Veronica is a positive energy person, but your energy now and the confidence I see and the change, your face swimmer. I mean, she didn't do it now, but before we started this interview, Veronica showed me her stomach. Guys, it's about this far from being flat. This is amazing. So
it is.
There's just
still work to be done. Still work to be done, but I'm all right.
Yeah. So with that, guys, hey, I'm Mike Ahlers. This has been Veronica Hernandez. You can friend request her on Facebook. I'm the creator and starter of EzPhysique. And with EzPhysique, guys, we help people maximize their personal power through physical transformation. Because I believe, and it's my mission, that if I help you change your body, you will change your life. Just like Veronica has. So, for sure. Guys, with that, hey, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I'm going to post this on Facebook. Any questions, post them in the comment. You can always private message me, comment, like, and share. Other than that, Veronica, you have anything else that you want to add?
No, do it. Just do it. One step.
One step. We'll leave it with that. Hey, Veronica, thank you. God bless you and your family. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I promise you, it's going to make a difference in somebody's life. Somebody's watching this that we may not even ever meet or talk to, but it's going to make a difference. So thank you for that, girl. I look forward to your other journey. Also, one other thing, how beautiful is it that you're on this journey? You already have this amazing momentum, and it's not New Year's Eve. You're going into Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's with a whole new you, a new body, a new energy and everything. And I did a live yesterday talking about that so many people are going to wait, and it's such a grind. But how about where you're at, where you have momentum going into the end of the year and the new year?
And I'm still making tamales.
And yes.
I'll still make tamales.
That's what's up. So guys, hey, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, like I said, just drop them in the comments. Also, feel free, if you feel you're ready to start your journey, and you want to talk about that, feel free to reach out. We do have some space for some clients right now. We don't work with a ton of people, but right now I know I've got at least 3 spots available for somebody that's ready to get started on that journey. With that, guys, I'm out. Again, Veronica, thank you so much for your time. You're amazing. And we'll catch you on the other side.
Cool. Bye.